All right, welcome to your senior final semester. 4 months separate you and graduating forever and never having to come back to this building until you have to. So, welcome to EN140. There's a couple big changes that are coming to it. First off, they're not using Moodle this semester. They're going to be using something called Canvas. Canvas, actually, I prefer Canvas because I had to use it for my master's, and it's actually a lot more like user friendly. So that's a good sign for you. So Canvas is a good plus. I haven't been able to log on to Canvas yet because, as some of y'all mentioned, CMO doesn't start back until after MLK Day, and so they got 3 weeks that they're just kind of taking their time getting stuff together and ready. The other big change that is coming is that you have a different professor this semester. It's no longer Mr. Wade Christian. It is Misty Chisholm, I want to say her name is. She's actually from Wardell originally, and she was the original architect of like this online dual credit structure that we kind of find ourselves in. I don't know how she'll go. I don't know how she'll teach. I hate that I sound sexist like this, but in my experience through academia, female professors are a little bit more harsh and focus more on ticky-tacky things than male professors. Male professors focus more on the bigger ideas and bigger picture things, where female professors will focus a lot more on you didn't use this proper type of citation type of stuff. So that's just a heads up. I don't know if that's going to be her type of style. I'm just talking about my 8 years or my 6 years of academia, or 7 years of academia, because it took me 5 years to graduate from college. That's a factoid. Don't change your major so often, kids. But in my 7 years of attending college, that's kind of how it goes, especially when I was taking my master's. That's how it went. So that's just a heads up there. I think she'll be fine. This class focuses more on ideas than it does on style. Last semester, when you did EN100, you did, of course, like the literacy narrative, you did the informative essay, all those different essays that you wrote focused more on trying to hone your style, develop your style, become more unique as a writer. This semester is focusing more on your ability to build an argument, to build rhetoric. And you're going to do that through 4 essays, technically 5 essays, but 4 essays are going to be the main ones. Non-dual credit kids, you only have to do 4. Dual credit kids, you got to do 5 because your final will be an essay, as someone mentioned earlier. The 4 essays that you'll write, and I'll be right back, are this, because I have it written down here on my Post-it. The first one you'll do is, which it might change. I don't know. This is a different professor, but in my previous years of teaching this, the first one is called a rhetorical analysis essay. With a rhetorical analysis essay, with this essay, they're going to have you read another essay and pick apart and kind of analyze how they developed an argument. And there's usually a very like templable, a very like structure that you follow as you go through this. This essay, you're going to identify what the cryos of the argument, you're going to talk about the cryos of an argument, the ethos of the argument, the pathos of the argument, and the logos of the argument, and how they all kind of blend together. If you have no idea what I just talked about, don't worry. We'll talk about, that's what the first week is pretty much talking about, is what's ethos, what's pathos, what's logos, what's cryos. And also we talk about fallacies. You got to keep an eye out for fallacies. And fallacies are actually kind of fun once we start digging into those. But that is kind of that's the first essay, is that you're going to pick apart an argument. You're going to pick apart an article that you're going to have to read. It's going to be probably one of the articles in the Norton Field Guide that you have. Same book as last semester, by the way. Then the next one will be an ethical evaluation argument. At least that's what it was in the past, was an ethical evaluation argument. And basically what an ethical evaluation is you are evaluating something and saying whether or not it is good or bad, whether it is high, or whether it's right or wrong, moral, immoral, fair, unfair, high quality, low quality. So you're just evaluating whether or not something is on the good side or the bad side. So the big thing that one focuses on is the evaluation portion of it. And you do, so the first one, it is, of course, the rhetorical analysis. They don't want your opinion, really. They want you to just kind of break down how the other author's opinion was. In this one, the ethical evaluation argument, this is where you start to voice your opinion. You pick a topic and you tell us whether or not it is ethical or not, good or bad, right or wrong. That will be the second essay. That will be the first one that will actually really, that will see an uptick in using sources. Technically, you're going to have to cite sources for the rhetorical analysis because the source you're using is the other person's essay. So you're citing the other person's essay as the essay that you're using. But the ethical evaluation is the first one that you'll start bringing in outside sources to help it out. Speaking of outside sources, the third essay, which is not really an essay, but kind of an essay, is the annotated bibliography. Now, this is the one that all of y'all are going to freak out about because it's a 10-page essay. Technically, it's an 11-page or even 12-page essay. But don't look at it like that, because that's the thing. Looking at it through the 12 pages is what freaks y'all out. It's not it technically is a 12-page essay, but what it actually is 10 one-page essays that have an introduction and a conclusion. That's what the annotated bibliography is. And there's a very standard way that you write each of the one-page essays. Believe it or not, even though it is a 12-page essay, if you actually do the work, most people score an A, even a 100% on this particular essay. They're like even kids that borderline pass this class, kids that got D's in this class, the reason why they passed this class is because they got a 100 on the annotated bibliography. So as long as you actually do the annotated bibliography, you should be fine. It's not that difficult. It's once you get into the rhythm of it. It's the first, once you start doing it, it takes a little bit of time because you're getting used to the flow of it. But once you start getting used to oh, I'm doing this, and this, all right, on to the next one. This, and this, on to the next one. They pick up with speed quite quickly. The last essay that you will have to write if you are a non-dual credit student is the proposal argument. And this, it's essentially you are proposing a solution to a problem. So there's a problem out there in the world. You're going to propose the solution that will fix that problem. And your annotated bibliography are the sources that you're going to use to help support your proposal argument. So the annotated bibliography and the proposal argument often are intertwined. Then last but certainly not least, CMO's finals happen after y'all officially are no longer here. So I know this doesn't seem fair, but it just makes it a lot easier to go about it with this, considering it is a college class. In the past, there actually was a legitimate final that you had to take. You had to get up here and there was a 2-hour block of window that you had to sit and write 2 essays. It was a part of this this writing project thing that SEMO was a part of. I had to do it when I was at SEMO. There's usually 2 tests. The first test is actually the one that you had to take in order to get into this class. If you remember back when you were a junior, you went to the library and you had to write an essay to get into this class. That's the first part. And the second part was originally the EN140 final. They're gone away with that. And so now the final is the proposal is not the proposal argument, the portfolio. You're going to do another portfolio, which if you looked at how y'all scored on the portfolio, y'all did you did pretty decent on it. So you're just going to do another portfolio as your final, but that portfolio will be due the beginning of May when you won't be here. So it'll be on you. If you are taking it for dual credit, it's on you to actually get that turned in because I won't be able to harass you face to face like I normally can. So you just need to make sure that you get that turned in. With that said, you also will have the revision self-analysis things again, like you did last semester, where after each essay's third draft, you would have to write a revision self-analysis that you can use for that portfolio. So you need to remember to do that. There were some of you online, which I know maybe one of you is actually watching me right now, but those of you who are online, some of y'all didn't do those rhetorical analysis, and that really hurt your grade. That's a free 16 to 20 points that you are throwing out the window if you don't do the rhetorical analysis. So you need to do the rhetorical analysis, okay? And there'll be a handful of other assignments along the way. There's not as many opportunities at additional credit as we did, like the annotations that we did. There will be a couple chapters that you have to read, but they're not as plentiful as the previous semester. So those points won't be as available as as usual. So I've decided to do this since we have like 3 weeks to fill before you'll actually start. With the other group of seniors, the non-college writing seniors, we're starting speeches. And it's funny because most of the time, the class president, the valedictorian, the salutatorian don't take English 4, they take college writing. So they never have to go through my public speaking course that I kind of provide for about a month. So what I'm going to do for y'all is this. Between now and the beginning of SEMO semester, if you write a personal introduction speech, I will give you, and get up and actually present it, get up here in front of the class and present it. For those of you who are virtual, makes it a little bit more awkward, but you're probably going to need to have someone hold the camera or position the camera. You don't need to like selfie it. It needs to be like distant so I can see your posture and whatnot as you present the speech, just so y'all can get some practice public speaking. If you write a personal introduction speech, which I'll link in this video's description, like the how to write one thing that I'm about to go over with the face-to-face students. If you record yourself and you get to 3 minutes talking about your personal life, talking about yourself, I'll give you 50 points. So that's half of a essay grade for you to help bump up your points to where, you know, in college a 90 is an A, but a 90 here in high school is a B plus. To help you all out with that, since we're not going to have as many chapters as we did the last semester to help with. That cool with everybody? All right. So if you have any questions online, email me to let me know, and I'll try to answer them. Like I said, the personal introduction speech, which I'll provide the information to below this video, will be due the week before MLK Day, which is the last day you can submit it would be the 19th, the 15th. Yes, the 15th. So that Friday, January 15th. So you have 2 weeks to kind of put one together and present it, and you get 50 points. It needs to be at least 3 minutes long, though. All right, that's all I got. That's the semester to come. If anything new pops up, I'll hop on here and let you know, but that's all I got. So those of you online, toodles. Those of you all face-to-face,